me, there's always a big difference between something that's simple and something that's simplistic. We are going toward simpler products, but we're going toward a more sophisticated experience.
It takes a lot of confidence to be that restrained in how you approach the design problem.
And that's something, I think, where we were going with Amia when we started out and once we got into it, to achieve a sophisticated simplicity. For about 10 years, chairs have become very complex, and they've had a lot of controls, and they've been very extrovert about their mechanism.
Wanted to provide a significant level of comfort, but without being flamboyant about it and without throwing it in the face of the user.
In furniture design, this is sort of what I sometimes call inside-out design. You just take the whole thing and you turn it inside out, sort of like a science fair, showcasing technology and inventiveness in a really overt way. I think we felt that there was an opportunity to do something that would be fresh and simple and more interesting as a new offering. With Amia, what I had was a picture of the old VW Bug. It's full of character, obviously, but it's also a very humble product that's happy to just to be loved by you, that didn't say, love me, love me, love me, you know? So the old Bug became one of the things I thought had similar qualities that we would like to see in Amia. Prototyping is key. This is IDEO's basic philosophy. We always say you should make the simplest possible prototype at the earliest time. I was watching television, I was playing with this sort of restaurant invitation that I had, some San Francisco restaurant that didn't quite make it. So I took this card and I was watching TV and I was thinking, how can I take it back and make it flexible? You know, I started cutting it with scissors, and then the next day in our model shop, I made this little thing here. Then I made a big one, and then it became the concept for the technical solution of the live lumbar, which is the most innovative feature on the chair.
You remember this? This was actually the very first model.
But it was kind of aggressive, right? It was like elbows sticking out like this. And it had a lot of unflattering angles, which, you know, that's part of the process. Once you go full scale, a chair is a big sculpture that sits in the middle of the room. You look at it from all angles. Toward the end of a really long workday in the shop, and we got into a point where we needed to know how something is done. And Bruce said, why don't we just have a look? And I was a little bit amazed by what he really meant with that, which meant we took somebody's chair and basically pushed it through the bandsaw. When I was in college, my professor always said, if you want to do the next better anything, like a ski boot, you got to go out and buy the best one. Take it to the bandsaw, cut it in half, and find out how they did it. Why is it so good?
The mechanism is basically a black box. The simple and direct approach would be a straight stick that comes straight up the back of the chair, something along this line, which is hardly very elegant or sophisticated. A more interesting idea would be to bring that form to the sides.
We knew we would have to create a break in the back. We would have a structural part coming up, and then we would have the upper part that was a shell. So there would be a line that separates the lower part and the upper part, and that line reminded me of the level in a glass. If you took a cognac glass, you know, where you shake the cognac in, there's this level, this sort of at the low side. What I love about Amia is we were able to zoom in on every little tiny detail on the chair and work it out to a level that was actually unusual for this price point. And that's always in design. It's a journey, it's a search, and we go on this journey together. In the end, the answer was pretty simple again, right, as it should be.